Subliminal messages are snippets of information or bite-sized instructions designed to bypass our conscious awareness and directly enter the deeper realm of our mind, the subconscious. Sub means below. Our five senses do not readily pick up on these messages. Usually we cannot detect them, or they are otherwise very subtle. Subliminal messages, often dubbed subliminals, can include images, words, or sounds that we are unaware of seeing or hearing. It's believed that under the right conditions, subliminals can influence our behavior, beliefs, and the choices we make. How exactly? The theory is that messages are received without the power of reasoning. Our conscious mind, governed by our five senses, is apt to be biased. We may reject certain ideas or suggestions presented to us because we have the power to choose or question the information. Unlike the conscious mind, which is somewhat resolute, the subconsciousness is said to absorb information without critique. In popular psychology, the conscious mind is described as the tip of the iceberg, with the subconscious and unconscious mind forming the hidden, deeply rooted aspects of ourselves. Arguably, much of who we are, our core, is buried beneath the top layers of what we can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. The action of subliminals via sound is similar to hypnosis. This practice is intended to deliver positive suggestions that support us in improving our lives. For example, helping us to overcome phobias and curb certain habits. Expert opinion is that even when we've fallen asleep and are not actively listening, we can still reap the benefits of hypnotic suggestion. With repetition, we can begin to witness desirable changes taking shape. According to this information, we do not need to consciously register sounds for them to be effective. With hypnosis, however, we can clearly hear the messages if we choose. Knowing just sits more comfortably. And here's the caveat. If we're unclear on the messages being fed to us, then surely subliminal suggestion is open-ended. In a professional context, subliminals have largely been shunned due to weak scientific evidence, but others have stressed we may be subjected to them daily in the media, and they could be used to persuade, or even brainwash. Some people believe that through subliminals, we are even capable of changing our physical appearance. Here we'll look at 5 examples of subliminal messaging that we may have been exposed to. Before we get into these subliminal messages, here at Top 5's HQ, in between researching all the work we do, we've been playing Raid Shadow Legends, which we're sure you'll agree, for a mobile game has some impressive 3D graphics. You can get lost in the storyline, win fights and collect champions, and get tons of awesome progression rewards, like champions and equipment, just by learning to play this awesome game. The progression missions help you progress in a fun and easy way, while you get extra rewards for each mission. And once you complete the missions, you'll get one of the best legendary champions in the game, the Arbiter. A powerhouse of a character that will not disappoint. There's a reason Raid Shadow Legends has been nominated as a finalist for Google Play's Best of 2019 Users' Choice Award, and you can play it for free by clicking the links in the description. By doing so, you'll get 50,000 silver immediately and a free epic champion as part of the new player program, courtesy of the dev team. See you there. The popcorn experiment. The topic of subliminal messaging would perhaps be incomplete without this account. In 1957, market researcher James Vissery helped to conduct what's known in pop culture as the popcorn experiment. In a press release, James claimed that over 45,000 people were unwittingly subjected to subliminal messaging as part of an advertising study. Allegedly, movie audiences were shown advertisements repeatedly on the big screen. 1/3000th of a second in length, too brief to be perceived visually. The advertisements were said to contain the following instructions: eat popcorn and drink Coca-Cola. Reportedly, this led to a 57.5% and 18.1% increase in sales of each, respectively. Despite this, James was said to be unable to back his data with proper explanations, thus he could not repeat the study. When questioned later about the popcorn experiment, he suggested the whole thing was a hoax, nothing more than a publicity stunt to lure customers to his failing business. Soon after this reveal, he shunned media attention. The story has been deemed propaganda. There is, however, some ambiguity. Originally, James gave a watered-down explanation about the data collected from the study. He explained that it was being kept confidentially because it was part of a pending patent. Later though, he was quoted to say the amount of data was too small to be meaningful. Apparently the movie theatre manager was interviewed too, and said no such experiment ever took place. But original research papers are rumoured to be held at Thomson J. Dodd Research Centre at the University of Connecticut. James's story yielded nothing concrete. Nonetheless, it planted a seed of widespread belief and intrigue into the power of subliminal messaging. What are the potential effects? Could we develop an affection or aversion to things that we believe were the result of our own judgment? Advertising. It's been speculated that the corporations, the government, and even police might incorporate subliminals into their work. In the days before TV, it's thought that radio advertisers used to play certain sounds and melodies to promote loyalty towards their brand. Then TV advertising was established. Sounds, images, and colours, just frames long, had the potential to bend someone's will and have a lasting influence. At least, that was an industry theory. Nowadays, advertising executives could still use these as a tool in their arsenal. Supposedly, many countries are banned from subliminal advertising, but a number of household names, including McDonald's, have been accused of flashing their company logo in the ad breaks of primetime TV slots in a bid to reach the mass audience. To go under the radar, many have since come up with more subtle ways to insert subliminal messages. A prime example of this is KFC. In 2008, they released a United States TV commercial for their 99-cent snacker. A dollar bill was found to be superimposed onto the lettuce in the picture, so camouflaged that it went unnoticed by most. KFC claims that they were encouraging interactive TV, and this was their fun way to reward customers. Supposedly, anyone who spotted the dollar bill could receive the snacker for free. Many argue this explanation seems legit, and KFC are renowned for their playful humour as a brand. Others, though, aren't quite so convinced, believing this to be a cover-up, that KFC's true intention was to drive consumers to be associated with their brand, with the positive image of money and personal gain. Other leading companies have been criticised for using similar tactics. America's fast food chain Wendy's revised their logo in 2013. If you look carefully, you can see the word mum near the collar area. Arguably, this is an attempt to foster a subconscious, nurturing image of wholesome home cooking, to overlook the grab-and-go burger joint that is the true nature of the business. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Skittles, Heineken, Xbox, and Palmolive, to name but a few, are also rumoured to have used the association method to push their product. This time with the notion that sex sells. It appears that either the word itself or suggestive images have been weaved into their advertising artwork to appeal to our more primitive instincts. Songs. The theory that songs contain secret messages has circulated for decades. Lyrics you thought you knew so well might surprise you when played in reverse. This technique is known as backmasking. There are many examples of this from yesteryear. Certain tracks from bands include Judas Priest, the Eagles, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, and the Beatles are said to have hidden messages when played backwards. Allegedly, these songs contain what appear to be satanic messages or references to illicit sex and drug use. More recently, artists like Britney Spears, Rihanna, and Eminem are thought to have recorded songs using backmasking, which can also be used to disguise foul language. Skeptics, though, have another explanation that it's just a spooky coincidence. Sound engineers reason that when speech is played in reverse, our brains detect a new series of sounds that can seem familiar. Effectively, we fill in the blanks with words we recognize to make sense of what we're hearing. Strange, maybe our ears can trick us, but what about our eyes? In 2015, American DJ duo Jack U, also known as Skrillex and Diplo, released Where Are You Now?, which features vocals from Justin Bieber. Given Bieber's appeal to a younger audience, this collaboration caused quite a stir due to its music video. In this, a number of abstract images are flashed onto the screen. When paused frame by frame, you can see symbols linked to the Illuminati. There's a host of other anti-biblical and bizarre sketches and words throughout. Some of these appear to be making digs at Bieber himself. There are also scribblings like "Love the Devil Back," "Kill the Poor," and Bush did 9/11 in the background. The intent of this material is unclear. Many believe it's a small act of rebellion, while others feel there is an evil undertone and even an attempt at mind control. It could also be a tongue-in-cheek artistic statement, one that represents the confusion and conflict in the world at large. Subliminal messaging can take a different form, softening the real meaning of a song by adding an oddly contrasting melody. In this sense, we are more consciously aware of the tone, which creates a bigger impact than the lyrics. In 2010, California band Foster the People released their debut hit, Pumped Up Kicks. The upbeat, sunshine tempo is hard to forget. It's the kind of song that gets stuck in your head. If you delve deeper into the lyrics, however, there's a dark and unexpected twist. The chorus lyrics are said to be about a pathological teen killer with depictions of a school shooting. It was written by lead vocalist Mark Foster, who wanted to raise awareness of gun crime, an escalating problem in the US. A melancholic tune is a better match for the lyrics, so fans were initially shocked to learn the true intent of the feel-good anthem. It catches you off guard. Seemingly weaved into the contagious rhythm, the underlying message is elusive but unshakably powerful, and Pumped Up Kicks went viral. Toys. It's scary to think that any type of covert message could end up in a children's toy. With their developing minds, children are thought to be especially susceptible to influence. In 2003, a Vancouver family received a Christmas gift for their 6-month-old son, a boat-shaped sleeping aid from Walmart's Kids Connection brand. With a crib attachment, the boat played soothing music and ocean sounds. Amid the calming background, however, the parents were said to notice a quiet, childlike voice. With careful listening, they could hear what sounded like "I hate you" repeatedly over and over. In a state of disbelief, the couple returned the toy to their local Walmart store. Though their complaint was dismissed by the manager, an employee stated that he too could hear the babyish voice. The couple located the toy on a nearby shelf, testing several more in the process, to find the same "I hate you" echoed by them all. Soon after, this toy was removed from Walmart stores, never to be seen again. Mysteriously, there seems to be little evidence of this toy in existence, and there's no official record of it being discontinued. So is this story a myth, or have Walmart attempted to conceal a mishap? Another children's plaything to raise a few eyebrows is the TY Monsters plush toy. Each quirky, fluffy Monsters character talks in what seems to be incoherent gibberish, interspersed with something unique to their design. For instance, Patch, a pirate, can be heard saying, "Walk the plank, mate." Several consumers, however, have spotted something suspicious about these furry friends. Some have recorded the audio clips, slowed them down and played them backwards, only to find clear, sensical messages. A couple of these have a neutral tone that is odd, but neither here nor there. For instance, deep in the rainforest, mutterings from other characters are decidedly more strange, such as "turn off the TV," and perhaps the most troubling of all, "I've got my eye on you," along with "I hide away with lots of children." It's completely baffling as to what the motive here could be. Is this a case of an overinflated imagination, or is there something more disturbing going on? What do you think? Movies. In movies, subliminal messages come from a more creative stance. The movie maker's prime agenda is more transparent to heighten the viewer's experience and reinforce the central plot. This is done cleverly, in ways that might be missed the first time around, or altogether. Some of the most iconic horror and thriller films to date have used subliminal messages, snapshots of film that most of us won't perceive. Doing this is believed to create a subconscious sense of fear and unease as the storyline progresses. In David Fincher's psychological thriller Fight Club, the narrator Edward Norton is never named, but Tyler, portrayed by Brad Pitt, is flashed into several scenes several times before his character is properly introduced. This cannot be seen at normal speed, but if paused and watched frame by frame, Tyler will make an eerie appearance at certain points during the film, often clues as to who he really is. One of the most recent uses of subliminal images can be found in The Exorcist, released in 1973. It's one of the most successful horror films of all time. The terrifying story of a possessed young girl, Regan McNeil, proved too much for some filmgoers, Many fainted, were physically ill, and fled the cinema altogether. The director had a goal: to shock viewers. He undoubtedly achieved this, but amongst the scenes of paranormal torment lies something extra. The face revealed a demon perpetrator, Pazuzu. In the theatrical version, there's a notable scene in which Father Karras is plagued by nightmarish images. At approximately 45 minutes into the film, the grotesque white face appears for a split second. In extended versions of the movie, it flashes onto the screen several more times, unbeknown to the viewer. The subliminal images of Pazuzu are believed to contribute to the unnerving sense of dread experienced when watching The Exorcist. So that's 5 subliminal messages you've probably been subjected to. We can say for sure that you've been subjected to several subliminal messages within this video, and you can find out more about that in the comments section below.